can't believe, so the church, wait, wait. So your church is literally a church/country club? I thought William was speaking metaphorically. It's a church/country club?
It's in the same area. The church by the country club.
Oh, I was like, damn, you just did the thing, didn't you?
Similar area.
I can take the truck, Sheriff. Can you drive?
Yeah, I can drive. You can see he's still holding the wound, but he'll be able to drive. He's stable. Yeah, I'll drive. But and he looks back at everything else going on here. He's like, I don't really want to split up in this scenario because
I mean, I think the fact of the matter is we've all seen what we've seen here tonight. There's not much doubt left in the room. Connor, don't worry. It's all an acid trip. You'll wake up in the morning and it'll smell like roses. I don't see many places for us to go other than the woods to find the cabin that Charles found or the church to see what's going on. And if there's already something taking us there, we might as well ride, right?
You also hear Will Graham speak up. He says, we also could talk to my father. I know that was on the table, but seems less pressing now.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe he'll be down by the burning church, perhaps.
He shouldn't be. Should be home.
Well, we got to go somewhere, and I think it seems like we're going to the church, right? If there's an incident there, we know it's related. We can at least poke around and see what we see. Will's with us, so we don't have to worry about his dad doing anything exceptionally cruel or unusual, because we've got Will, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think
Did you all say something about putting Will in a disguise as well, or shall he be just out?
I got a Michael Myers mask in the back of the truck. That's about all I got, though. I guess I'll say then, Connor, you said you can do stuff with special effects makeup. I get the impression, and I look at the sheriff, we do not have an hour and 45 minutes to wait to go do what we're gonna do.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm not that fast. Best I could do is like a dye job, like a hair dye, and like probably about that time, a little haircut. I couldn't apply like extra stuff.
So I'll just say out of character then. Do we think there's anything to this? Do we think it is at all worth our time to have Jessica drive the van and Connor give him a hair dye in the back of the van and make his hair black or whatever? Or do we think we are spinning our wheels on some true, genuine bullshit? I think it's fun, but I don't think it's in fiction, right? I've never seen a horror movie where they're like, let's dye his hair so that the devil doesn't recognize him. I'm not sure that math adds up.
Who is that guy?
If we get some more research done, maybe we can like find some sort of like protective sigil and dye his hair into that sigil or something.
I think that's maybe on brand for the 90s grunge style we've got going.
All right, then yeah, let's just get going. I don't think it's a super great use of our time. Let's jet. I'll take the truck. Do we want to do same division? I'll take Will and Charles, and you guys can go in the van, and we all meet there.
That sounds good to me. Sure. I'm just going to keep my eyes closed the whole ride.
Great. Sheriff, can you say out loud that we are all deputized and were deputized when we were shooting corpses in the hospital, please? And I take the recorder out of my car and click record.
You all are deputized, so welcome to the force. Go under my purview to handle what's going on over there. I gotta shut this place down. I can't let anybody come into this stage, so please go handle that, and then I'll stay on the radio if anything happens.
Absolutely. What time is it? Is it like 9:40 or is it earlier, later?
It's a little bit later. We're looking at like almost 11 p.m. at this point.
Okay. Thomas looks at his watch and then says out loud in front of the recorder, "Thank you so much, Sheriff, for deputizing us at 9:45 p.m." And then he hits stop and gets in his car.
I also agree with that time that you said.
Yeah. Okay, great.
There you go. All right. Good luck. Godspeed. I'll make a call out on the radio if anything happens. And he turns and he like runs back towards the building to try.
I throw him his gun back. He needs that much more than us. And so we can jet.
He rocks around. So it's ready. And then you all set off in your various vehicles. It is not a long drive, as nothing in this town is a long drive because it's fairly short, a small area. You go about 20 minutes away from the hospital here.
That is actually pretty serious for Charming. We've only been doing like 8-minute jumps, so that's pretty huge.
Yeah, you're going towards the west right now. So you're driving opposite your current location, and you get 20 minutes down. So you're driving through some middle of the town traffic, several lights, getting caught behind some slow moving farm trucks. But you make it in fairly good time, all things considered, to the country club. Golden Oaks Estates is what this place is called. You see that there are a few large, almost McMansions basically built on the property, and then a very large main lodge country club with a golf course behind it. And as you drive past that and the big gate that leads towards it, you see on the opposite side of the road to your left, the smoldering remains of a church that was not able to be put out quite fast enough. You see smoke billowing and the flashing red lights of a couple of fire trucks. Basically, the entire fleet of Charming is here, putting out the last bit of smoldering remnants.
That thing must
Wow,
have gone
both
up.
trucks? That's huge.
Both trucks. They really were trying, and they didn't get here fast enough.
Actually, if they have a good fundraiser, they might have like four. They might have four in one of those little snubby ones. So, I mean,
They've got 2 full-size ones, and then a couple like town trucks that the fire chief drives.
that's great.
And that's basically what they get.
Man, for the whole church to be burnt up like that, it must have been a big fire.
For the whole church to burn up in what, 2 hours? That place must have been soaked in gas. All right, and I'll park the truck. I get. Is there? It's the 90s. I'm like, is there street parking? Questions that truly don't matter. I'll pull up onto the curb and hop out of the car.
Now, one question: Thomas, and who went with Thomas in your car?
It's me, Charles, Will, and if anybody else wanted to, I can take another person. There's just not much reason for me to.
Connor, Jim, and Jessica are getting in the van, Connor's van.
Did we?
Actually-
It depends on where we left Emily, right?
And that's the point I'm about to get to.
I did my fear check too and failed that one, so I would have probably gone towards Puck's car, kind of shivered a little bit,
Come
done
on.
a 180, and run over to the truck, to
Charles,
the janitor van. I'll be like, I'll drive with them this time. Sorry.
what a dick.
You get in your car very quickly, Thomas. You start it up and rip out of here. We've already established that Thomas is a lead foot when it comes to getting around to mystery.
Real
to
bad.
mystery.
Thomas looks over at Will going 85 miles an hour down a 2-lane 30-mile-per-hour road and goes, "Do you like Rush?" and puts a cassette in.
The tunes really help even that out. We jump over to the others who are just gathering into Connor's van. We're doing a bit of a pullback. Connor, you get into the front seat. Who's joining you in the front seat there? Anyone, or is everybody else getting in the back? I think that's Jessica, Charles, and Jim.
Jim is in the back, pulling security, and ready
Nice.
to take anything from behind on the sides.
Sure, I'll take shotgun then, and sort of just kind of like holding my kind of wounds and stuff.
And Jessica?
Well, I thought I would be sitting with Emily, most likely.
Jessica and Jim. Jim, you swing open the back doors of the van as Connor and Charles slam the front doors shut as they enter. Jessica, looking in as Jim walks up, you see that Emily is laying down on one of the like bench seats back here, laying across it.
How about you go and cover her, little lady? I'll take over. I'll make sure nothing gets in here if we need to deal with it. Got it? I'll
Yeah,
sit
sure.
right
I'll
over
just like
here.
cover up with a little blankie and
Yeah.
make sure she's all right.
Yeah, you grab. There's a couple blankets back here from the chilly nights during stakeouts. So you grab one and you cover her up, and you see that she's still folded up there. She does not stir as you cover her.
But she's like alive, right?
Yeah, you don't need to roll anything for that. You see that she's breathing.
Okay, why did you say it like that?
You don't need to roll.
I have some follow-up questions about how she fell asleep in this situation, but okay. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
All right, out of character.
Okay.
Out of character. Emily is conscious and she feels like the witch. Jessica feels less like the witch. Emily loses consciousness, and halfway across town, the church burns down. I think the witch is body hopping and that there is a teen girl with a bone to pick where we are driving to right now.
Coincidence.
Probably.
We can hope.
Uh,
Jessica looks over at the 1800s newspaper about the church burning down last time.
the van peels out and joins Thomas on his pursuit towards here. We all open with the flashing lights of the fire trucks. You see about 10 volunteer firefighters here, stomping out the last of the flames. As you approach, you see the chief talking on a radio, and he nods, and as he sees you pull up, he waves and pulls you over.
Who'd have thunk it?
He's waving us to come closer.
Yeah, he's like saying you can hop out and come over. Who approaches first?
Connor.
Oh,
Connor? Yeah, Connor, you step out and you start walking towards him, and he says, y'all are the new deputies, right? Just want to make sure that we're all on the same foot.
Yep. Sheriff deputized us 20 minutes ago.
Cool, got it. So, bit of a situation here. We have put out the flames. As you can tell, there was some accelerant used. You can all smell the gasoline has just been poured over this place. It reeks. And he says, and there are 3 dead inside. Inside is a bit of a strong term. You see that the walls are basically collapsed, and they're you can see like the outline of a charred corpse. He says, we haven't positively identified him because the fire was just too hot. So first of all, shouldn't have been anybody in there at this time. Incredibly late. 3 people that were here instead of maybe the priest at most would have been in here. That's strange. And the accelerant. What else?
Yeah. Is there a residence attached to the church? Does the priest live in the building?
The priest doesn't.
I can't remember what that's called, a rectory or whatever it is. Okay. That certainly is strange. We did have issues with, you heard about the mayor, right?
Yeah, we heard about that.
Did you heard
Still
about
don't really.
President of the college?
No, nothing about him.
Yeah, got picked up for causing trouble. And they both attend private meetings together and this place. So we're sort of got some weird stuff going on, so keep your eyes open. There might be the foulest of available play sort of going on. Thomas is trying to obscure details while also making sure that these people don't all die.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I'll make sure all the boys out here are staying safe. But, I mean, take a look around. You got any questions for me? Happy to answer them, but
Yeah.
that's what we've seen.
What's around this area?
Around here, it's basically just the country club, golf club, several large mansion-esque houses, this place, and then a bunch of woods. This is out pretty far in the outskirts of town. It's like a fairly... It's not a new development, but they're trying to develop it further because it's not in the center of the town.
And it's grounded that it seems bizarre that there's this much money in Charming, right?
Yeah, this is like the rich people all decided there was some stuff they wanted, and so they pooled their resources to build it up. For the most part, the town's fairly poor, but the college has sent some money in. Some people have moved here because of the college, etc.
Gotcha. Great. Yeah, I mean, Thomas is gonna roll over. He'll shoot Jessica a look and sort of make his way over past her, away from the fire chief, and go, all right, psychic squad, roll out. And we'll make his way over to where there is fire and trauma and things that hopefully we can sort of attune to magically, because that's what we do.
I'll do FBI searching without psychic abilities.
Eyes, nose, ears, the usual.
My brain.
Now, this actually is a pretty huge question I have for us, just like process-wise here. Who's rocking high sharp? And is anybody got anything else going on? I'm pretty split. I've got +2 sharp, +2 weird. So I could just as well do investigate a mystery or read a bad situation and get something. +2. So we got a lot of people that can hit sharp. Can anybody do anything particularly wild with their abilities? Like, I can do the psychic environment thing, but Jessica, you can do much the same, right?
Do you want me to move anything big? I guess I can help out with that.
You need me to manipulate somebody, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, does anybody have higher than a +2 kicking around?
Oh, only for weird.
Okay, so for weird, it doesn't, with the monstrous doesn't really gel too well. Jessica, do you have a +3 sitting anywhere?
Yeah, weird.
Okay, so the best person to help to ensure success would be to help Jessica with a weird roll. And so if we do it that way, then Thomas will actually not do his psychic thing. It'll be more helpful for me to investigate a mystery and just poke around the fire than for us to double up on the psychic nonsense.
I was gonna say, if I'm doing reading a bad situation, I get a +3.
So we can really kind of split so to not get too movesy about it, Thomas will start to just actually move around the area. I'm sure it's still a little too hot to get like up in the middle of everything, but Thomas will start to like make his way over and look at what he can from a sort of medium safe distance. trying to look at the things that he can, looking mainly for signs of where's the accelerant from, is anybody lingering, trying to sort of look at the clues situation.
I'm looking at dead bodies, like placement, if they were stuck, if they were like bound here, if they were the ones that started it, maybe.
So we're gonna open with the general investigation here, the mundane. Connor, you walk up. This is going to be investigate a mystery, so roll plus sharp.
I was hoping for that, reading a bad situation.
There's no danger right now, so you can't read about it. This is a formerly bad situation.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. So sharp.
Yeah, sharp.
With a -1, I got 9.
-1 as an FBI agent for sharp is wild.
It's so funny.
It was a 9, so you hold 1.
Cool. How do what's being concealed here?
You look around here, and you quickly realize you're going to get almost nothing out of these bodies. The clothes have been burned away. If there was rope, it's been burned away. There's no metal on them. You see like a wedding ring on one of the hands, so that has survived. There's a pair of glasses that haven't fully melted, but you're not getting anything, really. And then you start looking around the remnants of this building, and you find, as you walk around, behind the pew is a trapdoor. So just being concealed here is a trapdoor underneath a rug with like hidden wood paneling that hasn't been totally burned away. Enough of the wax hiding it has melted that you could see the seams. And when you see that, you pull it open. And it's not locked. We jump to the next investigator. This is happening at the same time. Who else is doing a mundane check? Anyone?
Thomas is just going to be investigating the scene. While Connor says he's going to go look at the bodies, so Thomas is looking for evidence of who did this, what happened, and is hoping for something. You know, a burnt piece of cheerleader ribbon would get us 2/3 of the way there.
Go ahead and roll me that investigate.
Also mixed. 8.
So you get to ask one question.
I'm stuck between what sort of creature is it and where did it go?
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost positive it was the witch, unless it was self-inflicted, which would be wild. I think I'm gonna go a little bit more basic than that then, because I have both questions. I'm just gonna go what happened here. Thomas is trying to get an outlook on the whole situation, trying to understand what happened, where did the fire start, does he see signs? Then he's gonna start doing things that, you know, like fire company doesn't really need to do. He's gonna look for tracks, because it'll help us a lot to see a shoe print, because we know we are looking for a, you know, adolescent or younger woman or not. Like, that is our toggle, so we have a much more acute and thin piece that we're looking for. So he's going to try to figure out what happened, look for maybe if there are footprints, what the size is. So just trying to get a sense for the whole situation, more so than like, where did anything go? What specifically was it?
You look around here. The first thing, you're going to notice a couple things as you do a more general search. First, you do not find any footprints. The ground is fairly muddy, so it's strange that there's nothing leading around, nothing on the outside. You do see on the walk up, there's a couple of like blades of grass that have been stomped on, like on that path. But the rest, there's nothing that stands out to you. What does stand out to you is that from a charred remnant of a building, the things that are still standing are some posts, as they would be. The ground is still standing. And the sections where windows were, the glass is still there. It's still up. None of it's been broken. The door is still standing. It has not been broken.
That is physically impossible. So Thomas will walk over to the rest of the group and just take the time to... So at some point during Connor's scene, he hears Thomas go, the window's shattered and this should have been the first thing to go, pretty much no matter what, especially if there was people inside trying to make their way out. But regardless of that, the heat would have taken those things out immediately, and the door is just a big piece of tinder. Well, Thomas will go up and rap his knuckle on the door. Does it clang like metal instead of the wood that it should be?
It is wood.
Okay, so something absolutely bizarro has happened here, because that's literally impossible.
Very perplexing, yeah.
Thomas will take the knife that Jim gave him out of his pocket and try to scratch the door. Try to like take a wood flake out of it and just see if it does anything.
You don't need to roll anything for this one. You pull out the knife and you start scratching at it. And the first few passes, it doesn't cut into it. You do it for like 10 seconds. and right at the end of it, you see a Nick start on it.
I think the door has been reinforced, but it is still wood, and he'll like knock on it again. It's still wood. So they did something. So they were afraid of something coming through a window, maybe? They were afraid that somebody was going to throw, I don't know, a bottle full of gasoline with a rag stuck on the top through a window. Is there a chimney in this room?
There's not. What was Charles's question?
I guess if they were working against the witch, maybe they tried to protect the place with charms, but the charms were too specific and only protected like the ways into this building.
Well, that's the. Did it look like it was a stone building or a wood building?
This is a wood building.
Yeah, I mean, Charles, could happen, especially if they tried to protect the whole place, but they ended up protecting parts of it. You know, it's easy to defend a door, it's one piece. It's easy to defend the glass of a window, it's one piece. To try to defend the whole building, unless you're very good at it, means you got to go plank by plank. You know what I mean? If you do it wrong, you end up blessing one plank of wood. So I guess that could be it, but it could also be something more mundane. I don't know.
And mid-sentence, one of the panes of glass shatters and collapses. And then another one shatters and collapses. And then one of the doors slams down, and another pane of glass shatters.
Like Schrodinger's church we have here, maybe? Or Heisenberg's church.
Perfect.
Being observed and falling apart.
I don't know at all. About now, does Connor open up that hatch?
Yes.
Yeah, Connor,
Okay.
you open up the hatch.
Wait, can I?
Oh, yeah,
can I
yeah.
also- I just looked at the thing, and when it says use magic, it says that I can see something.
There's like 36 options
I
for
know,
use
I'm
magic.
sorry.
I'm gonna.
No, I'm telling the audience who might not have played
Oh,
Monster
sorry.
Belief.
I almost definitely know the one you're gonna go for. It's second to last on the list.
Yes, observe another place or time. Yes, correct.
You're gonna try to look back in time.
Back in.
Yeah, doing a Men in Black 3. What are you doing when you're using this magic? Be warned, there are firefighters still crawling around this area.
I would say probably just something simple like touching it, like a little bit of a Lorraine Warren situation. So nothing flashy. You know, maybe there's a little bit of light, but you know, maybe they don't notice that.
So what part of the building or bodies, what are you going to touch?
I was hoping, honestly, to touch the ground, just so I can get like the view of what happened. Like because it happened at this place, I feel like that's important.
Yeah, you put your hand down and roll weird or use magic. I think there's going to be a help out from somebody here as well. We've got Jim and Charles who haven't taken an action. So if you guys wanted to roll to help out, one of you can do that.
I
So
got a 10.
Jim was kind of just sticking around. He was kind of like watching the perimeter.
With a 10, there's no reason to help out. Jim, roll me, I'm going to say plus sharp, just in general.
Nicole, that means you did something good. He's making you wait. He's doing Jim's things first.
That's
The
11.
secret note. What'd you get?
11.
An 11. Very nice. This isn't really reading a bad situation or investigating a mystery. I'm just giving you essentially a perception check here. So while you're wandering around the woods, listening, trying to hear, you know when you're intently listening for something, like in the middle of the night, and then a loud noise happens, and it's as if it was 1,000 times louder than it actually was because of how intently you were listening? That's you. You're crawling through the woods on your belly, arms out, rifle in hand, looking around. And you're passing by the road where you'd all parked. And you hear, listening for something. You swear there's something in the woods. And then the doors of the van open up. And you see as Emily steps out, eyes kind of wide, wiping some like tears away from her face. She says, Oh, I was terrified. What's happening? And she sees you, Jim, but you don't see anything in the woods.
Crawling over very, very quickly, make sure he's not making too much noise because still paranoia. It's too quiet.
Jim army crawling through cut grass next to a road. It's so good.
He pops up his little head.
Oh, yeah,
You're awake.
yeah.
You're all doing all right. How were you able to sleep through all this?
I felt exhausted all of a sudden. I just collapsed, and I was laying in there, but I'm feeling pretty good now. What did I miss? The last thing I remember, I was like in a cabin,
Oh no.
and we jump over to Jessica. Jessica, you put your hand on the ground, and light from your hand Charles has blocked the view of the firefighters here for a second. But Jessica, you lock into the history of this place. You got a 10, so that is a full success. First of all, congratulations. It works without issues, and you've chosen the effect to see a former time. You jump back, and you're trying to look pretty recent, so you don't go too far back. You go back to the beginning of this night. The sun has already set. You see twilight outside of these windows. The glass is stained, and it's hard to really make out the light, but there's some candles lit in here as well. You see 3 men sitting on a couple of pews here, and one of them back behind a lectern. None of them wearing priest's garb, all of them wearing pretty nice clothing. You see suits and ties and a corduroy jacket outfit on one of them, and the one wearing the corduroy jacket has a pair of thin frame glasses. He is standing behind the lectern, and he says, well, looks like things are going pretty much exactly as we'd planned, so congratulations, gents. I think the Lord would be pleased. I think we've done pretty good. So the last bits here are making sure that the last couple points of the star get lit up. That way everything's set, and we should be heading heavenward pretty soon. And you hear a hear, a cheer go out from the other couple. They're clearly excited, and they start congratulating each other, basically. A bit of a circle jerk, if we're being honest. And then you hear a faint sound, like a ringing of a bell. Almost like when you open the door to a store and they've got the old-fashioned ones over the top. That rings out, and they all stand up a little bit straighter, and you see fear fill them. That sound shouldn't elicit that response, not unless they knew something, and they clearly did. They get up and bolt for the door. They run up to it, slam into it, and they can't open it. They start banging against it, trying to open it. And then you see, through the stained glass, the entire outside of the church lights up around it and starts encircling. One of them grabs a wooden block on the side and throws it at one of these glass panes, and it bounces off. And they just start going, oh shit, and they're hammering. They pick up a pew together and they start slamming it into the door, and nothing is working. And the fire creeps in, smoke filling them, and you hear a cackle. And the vision ends.
I hate to say this, witch whips ass. It's so unfortunate.
So yeah, I think we're all thinking it was the witch. Correct. And they couldn't get out of the windows and the door.
It wasn't to keep things out, it was to lock them in.
Correct.
And as that said, Connor, you open up the trap door. Jim, you walk back in, Emily in tow. The trap slams onto the ground. Dust and ash flies up and around. You gotta cough a little bit and blow it out of your face. And you see that there is lantern light coming from down below. It's dark down there, and it feels humid.
Kind of curious if this was their kind of place of meeting, and they didn't know about a trap door to escape to. Yeah, maybe they built their church on top of the witch's cabin.
Wait, the bell that went off didn't lead to the front door, right?
Mm-mm.
So the bell probably rings when something happens down there. So my guess is there's something down there that they are afraid of. Well, and I look down at the bodies, rightly so. We're afraid of.
You all lean up a little bit as they say that. Connor, you're looking down into the dark depths below.
I go to firefighter. Hey, got a flashlight? Something? Got a torch?
I got one,
please.
He hands one out. He calls the other guys over, and they hand you each a torch, as the British would say.
I'm gonna investigate.
Connor, you start walking down.
I'll click my light as well. Jim, are you going to signal to us that Emily does not remember anything?
Yeah, so as we open, I was just waiting for this moment.
No, totally.
So I know you're all about to go down here, but I think we all need to talk for a little bit, because this one right here, and he's literally just poking at her, says she doesn't remember anything since a cabin.
Do you know who we are?
I know Jessica.
I look at Charles.
I know Charles, yeah. I think I've seen him, and she points at Connor.
So she saw. So you saw Charles walk. Oh no, you know Charles from the school, of course. He's the.
Yeah.
Oh goodness gracious!
I know Jim. I don't know you.
I'm just gonna hold out hope. You don't happen to smell toast, do you?
It smells like gasoline.
Well, I'm afraid we've had a series of conversations between you and the various members of our group after you left the cabin and we went to the hospital, and a few other things occurred. So I'm afraid you you seem to have had a terrible fright, some kind of fugue-like episode. Do you remember anything from your time unconscious? Did you dream about anything in particular? I mean, just so we know some sense of what you got or did not.
No, but I need to tell you that the president he was chasing me. I don't know if anything's happened, if he's been like attacking people or something, but he was chasing me down, and I got away from him, and that's how I ended up in the woods, and I found a cabin, and then nothing.
He is luckily in jail for that now, so no need to worry about that.
Good, good.
When I found you in the cabin, though, you were conscious and kind of followed me back here. So maybe you were like in a traumatic state then or something. Perhaps when you took a nap in the car, maybe you just sort of forgot everything that was too traumatic.
I don't remember at all.
I'm going to open my mind to the psychic environment and see if she is still haunted. 9. I gain a hazy impression about something important. So I'm mainly just trying to see, like, do I feel the presence of the witch like I do when I focus on Jessica?
You feel it feels exactly the same as when you typically focus on Jessica. It's as if she has been touched and imbued with power, and it feels upsetting and unnerving. You don't feel the same way you did before.
I think Thomas not thinking as hard about Emily's thing in the moment and a little caught up in the fact that we have to get going will look at Jessica and go, she still feels the same that you do. I just think that maybe most of the others can't push back as well as you can. All right, well, who's going down in the tunnel and who isn't? We've got firefighters that y'all can stay with if you ain't feeling safe. William, I'm afraid you're somewhat stuck with us. I do continue to feel the best place for you to be is with us. If that makes you uncomfortable and you know a safe place to go, I mean, I suppose. I still don't think it's smart, but you could do it.
William's been sort of outside of the church during this. He didn't really want to go in to see anything in there. But as you call out to William saying you're kind of stuck with us, he says, I don't really have anywhere else. I'll stick around. Come in.
You knew these people pretty well, eh?
Probably.
I'm gonna, just before you come in, who was the man that wore glasses?
My dad.
Well, William, and I will walk out to him. Unless there is some other strangeness going on. There are 3 bodies inside, and one of them has a pair of thin metal frame glasses on that didn't melt. So I wouldn't come in unless you think you can.
He walks in to look because he needs to be sure. And he does see those glasses, and he does fall to his knees by his dad, and he wells up. He's crying.
We flash to an almost identical memory of Thomas as a young man watching his high school burn. And he kind of shivers a little bit and walks away from William over to one of the other areas and just ends up kind of just looking at like the molding of a burned down building.
He looks up to all of you and says, I'll stay here. Just, I'll be here when you're done. And he gestures towards the trap for all of you.
I'm going to give him a little hug.
Yeah, he accepts it. He puts one arm around you and then it falls.
I hand him a Bowie knife that Jim gave me. Go, you just take that.
Set it down.
And then I'll head towards the trapdoor.
I just give him some water.
You give him some water, and he does take a quick sip, and he sets it down, and he wipes his face.
Jim is going to go join. He puts his hand on him and looks like, I know it's not the right time right now, but I know what it's like to lose. If you ever need someone to talk or listen, just give me a word.
Thanks, Jim.
As we're walking back, Thomas will go, well, I think we can cross William Graham's father off the sort of public enemy #1 list. He's definitely not at home, however, as we start to head towards that trapdoor in the back.
And considering the damage the other bodies took, these ones probably won't come back to life. I hope.
I look over. I mean, they're burnt, but they're not like they're not like broken apart, right?
Yeah, they're burnt. They're not broken apart. They're just charred corpses.
Because you guys had to. I don't know if you guys noticed in the descriptions of our fights. Where's zombie rules? You guys had to like decapitate for them to stop moving, or like full, or like no heart at all, like shotgun to the chest. So there's a chance, but I mean, we gave him a knife. Hopefully he's smart. He'll know to get up and get running if things start to get too strange.
Will, do you mind if we sort of piecemeal these bodies so they don't come back? Or
Charles,
are you a little too...
The firefighters will be along to at least bag them up or something like that.
Connor, you are standing at the top of the staircase here, leading down into the dark, dank depths below. Do you descend the stairs?
Oh, 100%.
Flashlights all turn on. Emily is staying behind with Will. Both of them are sitting on some less burnt pews. After a minute, they both sit down next to each other, and you all descend, flashlight shining. You walk about 10, 15, 20 steps down, pretty deep for a basement. Fairly deep for a basement, especially in a modern construction. You wave the flashlights around, and you see a small bank of cemented flooring, and you hear the rushing of water, and you see what is ostensibly a miniature river. It's like maybe 6 feet across, and then another set of cement next to it, making up this bank, and the water is flowing past it, actively moving.
Is there a boat? Anything like that? Does the ceiling drop very low once we leave this space?
Once you go down the steps, what you're looking at is basically like a 20-foot room where the middle of it is this 5-foot river. And there's like 6 feet of cement on either side. And the ceiling is only about 10 feet above you, not even like 8 feet above you.
So what is the mouth and outflow of this? Where's the water coming from and where's it going to?
So that's coming through like there's a wall and a wall. And underneath that is clearly a large opening for the water to pass through. And it's the same on the other end. This is a room built around a river piece.
I really hope it's not a swim under the river thing. That sucks. He reaches he looks around and goes, somebody here's got to have a canteen, right?
Jim would for sure have a can. He's drinking from it right now.
Thomas takes the lid to like whatever we have and dunks it in the river and like gives it a sniff.
Thomas, as you dunk it, roll me plus sharp.
Oh no.
This is going to be investigate a mystery.
That feels the closest we've ever had to you touch it? You're sure? Okay.
You're going to take a sip? Yeah, go ahead.
9.
You bend over and fill up the cap of this, but as you look down into the water below, you see a glint off of your flashlight, and you look closer, and you see that there's a set of chains attached to a manacle on either side of this cement here in the water.
What do you imprison in running water? The vampire thing, I've heard. What do you want to stay submerged in a flow of running water? I know they used to drown witches, but like, is that not because they were testing for witchcraft, but because of some deeper truth?
Buoyancy, right?
Well, you know they'll sink if you manacle them to the bottom. And I look at these chains. Do they have like... Well, they're in free-flowing water. I was about to ask you a stupid question. I was about to be like, is there crusted blood on them? These underwater manacles?
What you do see is they look old. Ancient old.
I'm literally saying all this out loud, and I'll point them out to everybody. And be like, we've got manacles attached like they kept something in the water ad nauseum. That jingling of bells, where were those? I look around, we don't see any bells anywhere, do we?
So you didn't notice it on your approach because I didn't describe it, but above this trap, there was a bell that had been set that when passed had fallen down onto the steps. So it was like off to the side. There was a bell set there.
So, so whoever the witch possessed last, maybe they found a way to chain her up, stuck here for who knows how long. That's not good. I gotta be honest, folks. I don't know what else to make of it. I'll like gesture over to the manacles. I mean, it's just, you said it's like a 20-foot concrete room. I say it looks like a jail cell.
Yeah.
What else? The other thing that is noticed here is going to be on Jessica's part. As you walk towards the water, Jessica, you see 2 things here on the cement over to the side. There is a Ouija board and there is a notebook.
Can I go and touch it?
Roll plus weird. And in the meantime, Charles, what were you about to ask?
Earlier, I was going to see if we had like one of those little glow sticks, because I was going to like crack one of those and drop it in the water to see how it flows.
Yeah, I'm going to say for sure, there's no reason not to have one of those. Charles, you crack one of them and you drop it and you see it down past the chains and it gets picked up and it rushes out towards the left. So you're looking at the river, right, left, straight across it. And you see that green glow dim as it goes down past the mouth.
I have a weird question. The river, is that flowing towards any of the sites that like somebody's died?
I'm going to say, just to make it easy, the answer is yes, because it's heading in the cardinal direction of of east, and you're in the west. So inevitably there was a death over in the east.
Okay.
So that's specifically headed towards, from where we are now, if it went directly east, it passed the mayor's office and the tire marks by the school and the hospital. Everything is east of where we are right now. So that's pretty major. All right.
Okay.
Wait, did I say that it was, they said something about a star?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that in the vision that about
Points.
they said something about points of a star?
The tires at the park, the hospital, the mayor, the deadly body, the school tires, and then the church puts, that's 5 points on our map, plus 1 if we count the church.
Well, they said they did it all, and then they got burned.
Yeah, I mean, literally. So it's so for the record, it's Shady Grove in the middle. The deli body is the top point of the star. Hospital, school tires, mayor's office, park tires. So it is a literal pentagram across the middle of the town.
And there's a center point.
No, we're on the edge. We're out. We're out. We are beyond the edges of the circle.
Basically on the edge. Yeah, you're outside of it.
With
Shady
that,
Grove is the middle.
Shady Grove's in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. What's Shady Grove? Sorry. That's
is
the
where
wooded area.
Jessica lives.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Might want to check that out. Maybe.
I don't think there's a maybe about it. We're in a closed room with nothing else in it, and we got to go somewhere. Connor, trust your instinct.
Yeah. Well, that we're still asking a little bit. You said there's a notebook. Is Jessica's reaching for the spooky board?
Yeah, you're grabbing the Ouija board, right? What did you get on the weird roll?
I rolled 7 again, plus 3. I rolled 2 7s in a row.
Damn.
And
Sounds good.
Jessica is very magic.
Yeah, well, she's reached for that. I'm just going to thumb through the notebook a little bit.
you touch the Ouija board here, and the first thing you feel, Jessica, is a pain in your chest, your lungs filling up, not being able to breathe, and you pull back. And with a 10, you reach back out and you touch it, anticipating that feeling. And you get the sense that whoever was chained up down here was essentially drowning all the time. And were being asked questions during the drowning, whenever this was happening, to get information. And you see Connor reach over to grab this notebook. Connor, you flip it open. It is written in English. It is in a modern hand. It's not Old English. It's not hard to read. It's not ancient. And you see essentially just a notebook detailing the steps that need to be taken to free this being that is currently wandering and to bring about the end. Just verifying some stuff, where to get items, where to find the obsidian blades, where some of these lost tomes were. And the impression you get is that several months ago, the communication stopped. There were dates in there. There was some information there. And several months ago, there was no more communication.
Interesting. I flipped to the back. See the final step.
The final step, you see they must take the son to the heart. Once there, stab him as you've done the others, and the deed will be done.
All right. William is not going to Shady Grove.
Oh, we just left William upstairs. We should.
I'll go check on him.
Yeah, Charles, how about you head up there, dear man? The only thing I can't figure out, that we have a continuing problem. I do not understand the relationship between this being, these cultists, the body hopper, and the witch. I do not understand what they are. Do any of you have an insight here that I do not have? I just don't see how the pieces fit together. It seems like they're already done. I hate to say it, but it rapidly seems like the solution is to stick Will Graham on a Greyhound bus. I don't understand what the connection is, why the witch hasn't come out and told us what's happened, and why she hasn't talked to you, and what this thing is.
Charles, you run upstairs. You see Will sitting with Emily still, and they're chatting a little bit. They see you run up, and he looks up at you. His eyes are bloodshot.
Hey, Will, so we did find some news downstairs. Apparently the sacrifice plan was to take you to the center of town for that. So we're definitely going to have to make sure you do not go into Shady Grove, okay?
Will's like,
okay.
You're blowing up my spot right now? The hardest anyone ever has. Can we not?
Yeah, all right. I won't go home, okay? Sure.
Great. And in the meantime, we can definitely, I guess, get you a hotel on the outside of town, or if you've got a dormitory at college.
Yeah, I've got a dorm. I got a dorm
Good.
room. All right. Yeah. Sure. Can somebody go to my house to grab my stuff if I can't go back to Shady Grove?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Cool.
I think they're probably coming up soon. There's just like a weird river down there and some manacles underwater. It's a little unnerving, so glad to be up here.
Gotcha. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. I'll start to get ready. Yeah. He's not at this point. He's barely even listening. He's like, "Yep, that sounds right for sure." Manacles on the bottom of the big river. Yeah. All right. We cut back to the rest of the group.
I mean, that might not be everyone that's in on the plan. There's been five people now, right?
Mayor, president, 111s. That's 5.
Yeah, we don't know the exact size. There might be more cultists.
He gave us a rough number. Keep talking. I'm going to look up and see if I wrote down what number he said.
Yeah, it wouldn't be much more than that, but I could see there being a few more, especially if there's only that final step. And we're still loosely going based on this creature, I suppose, being in with the witch. There's still a chance that they aren't.
Yeah, it's just, it could be literally either way. Did it keep us from being here, or did it try to keep the sheriff and us from going to Shady Grove? And I don't know. It could have been doing either thing.
Yeah.
And run through the 5 points of the star.
Yeah, so we have the body that was found outside of the deli. We have that's our northern point. We have the hospital, which is the northeastern point. We have the tire marks at the school, which was our southeastern point. We have the mayor's office, which is our southwestern point, and we have the parks, the things at the tires, which is the northwestern point. So what really matters is that we have a dead body to the north. We have a dead body to the east at the hospital. At the school, the president tried to kill somebody there and failed. So there should be a dead body there, but there isn't. The mayor's office did have a dead body, so that's check. The deli had a body, that's check. There wasn't a body found in the park, right? Was there a body found in the park?
No, there was a disappearance at the park.
But they seem to say that it was all good.
So I don't know if they knew that the president of the college had been nabbed, because that happened. We got to remember, this all happened in like 3 or 4 hours. We just lost, we're playing a TTRPG. We lost a couple hours here or there. So there's 2 places where we do not have confirmed deaths. The school should have had a dead body but didn't, and the park should had a kidnapping but no dead body. So there is a dead body at the park.
Do you know about the death from the first time this kind of all happened?
It seemed like the first time no deaths had happened, because we checked the obituaries and there was nothing strange.
There's none.
So I think the witch got it sooner last time.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to say, if there were 2 deaths, it might have been in those locations.
So Spencer, the park is opposite the school. That's not where like we were looking for Emily, right? She was closer to the school.
Emily was closer to the school. She had bust out from there. The park was where Taylor had gone missing. So maybe they don't need to die there, right? Maybe they just need to. If that's true, then Taylor was picked up at the tires and died 1 point to the right at the deli, and the school body was picked up and then driven 1 point to the right and killed 1 point clockwise and killed at the next point clockwise. And then at the hospital, like 15 people died, all right there. So it seems like I'm getting the feeling maybe this ritual is a little bit, either they have 2 people left to kill, or they're done and they don't need to kill somebody at each location. For ease, I'm going to say there's one person that is a question mark, and that is who was chained up here under the water and where did they get taken? What happened with them?
I didn't even think about that. So what are we all in the dirt and I'm drawing this with a stick?
Basically, yeah, you're on this like cemented bank and there's a bunch of dust and you're just drawing it out. So
we don't have a dead body in every place. We've got this weird man wielding a stone. Given off the biblical theme of our adventures, I'm gonna operantly call him Cain. We've got Cain, and we've got all these other people. I look over at the water. I have an anxiety that we have Abel, which would make Abel have turned somewhat murderous in his later years, but that's, I suppose, his business. Do we feel like we're missing anything else? Maybe we should get like a Roll20 noteboard going that we can all look at. That might actually be very helpful for some red threads.
You did mention possibly trying to investigate the witch's cabin, right?
That's just my next thought is like, if there's nothing else for us to do, it's so in my head, we got high risk, high reward. William Graham's house. We get his shit. We go into the study. That puts Will at an incredibly high amount of danger because we either leave him alone with the witch that wants him dead, or we take him with us to the place he's not supposed to go. Both of those options suck, but it's a very high reward as well. It feels like there's going to be a lot of information. Second up, low risk, low reward. We try to find the cabin again. We've already been to the cabin. You roughly know how to get there, and we know what's in the cabin, and it seems like the answer is not very much. So it's very low risk, but I'm not sure there's that much to be found there.
Could we potentially go to Will's house, but then just not have him there? Like, just have somebody like perched up with him, like just protecting him, keeping him out of harm.
We just don't know how big this like gentleman's group is. Like, we don't know how many members there are of the historical society. It could be 5.
Will said it to me before.
Did he? I didn't write it in my notes. That's what I was looking through. So unfortunately, it's not something I have a record of if we totally know that or not. So I suppose we could find out in 3 seconds either way, right? It doesn't really, it doesn't matter too substantially. The only other thing we could do is check the park for a dead body. And that's medium risk, medium reward. See if they are completing the circle or not.
Jessica can also try and see what happened downstairs as well. I don't know how well that would work.
Oh, like try to get a glimpse of who it was?
Yeah. Or where did it go? Sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wait a minute. Where did it go? The trapdoor was sealed.
The trapdoor wasn't sealed. It looked like the wax had melted away. The trapdoor was closed.
Oh, so it let everything burn and then got out. So we just had a whole cool Mission Impossible sequence upstairs where while we were all talking, the witch in a firefighter's outfit walked out having stolen it off of somebody.
Yeah, because when the door opened, it was the bell.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I think we got to do the stupid thing. Jessica, you should, if you feel up to it, if you're not afraid to use your magic here, you should see if you can parse what happened in the past, just so that we know who it is. But unfortunately, we can't settle for saving William. It's 1991. They get to try again in 11 years. They get to try again in 2002. They get to give it another whirl. So if we don't clean this up, I don't know what happens next. So I think we're going to have to go to Will Graham's house. I just don't see another way to save, the world other than nothing that we all want to do. I suppose if push really comes to shove, I don't feel comfortable with it, but it's got to be said. If Will Graham needs to die in Shady Grove, it does pose the question, what happens if he dies somewhere else?
Jessica cries. Quietly.
Jessica, you can use your magic.
Yes.
All right, Jessica, you walk towards the water. How are you using your magic?
Sorry, I just rolled a third 7.
7 plus 3, 10.
That's 777 in
Full
a row.
success.
Wow. You're having a real commune moment here. You and the witch.
That's weird.
I'm going to assume you walk up and you use your magic in a very similar way here. You hold your hand out, and the first thing that happens to you is the magic fizzles. When you go to put it over this running water, it disappears. You try it again, and it disappears again. And you step back a few steps. You put your hand on this cement, and then the magic picks up. And while you are here, you look around and you see the man in the black frame glasses sitting by the Ouija board, watching the planchette move slowly, piece to piece, writing down the notes it's given. And you see him walk, and you're looking through his eyes, the image distorted through those glasses. And you see in the water is the form of a young woman, maybe 20 years old, in a white undergarment dress with some gray trim that has been just tattered. Her hair and ringlets pushing down by her, her face blue, drowned. But you see her eyes moving back and forth, still alive, and wearing clothes that are more than a century old. And he goes back to the journal, and the planchette moves a little bit faster, and he goes back to writing. And then your vision ends.